Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I would just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Ladies and gentlemen, today is May the 1st, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, May is my favorite month. And I know you're asking yourself, why, Tony? Why is May your favorite month? Well, let me give you the roll call, First, it's my wife's birthday. It's my birthday. It's my mother's birthday. May used to be the end of school. And also, last but not least, one of the best things about May, the month of May, is for the first time in 4 years, me and my family, we get together every Memorial Day weekend. That's the last Sunday, fourth Monday out of the month of May. We get together and we have a family reunion. We have been having a family reunion since 1985. Some of you kids weren't even born in 1985, but every year we get together in the great city of New Madrid, Missouri, town of 3,350 people. Well, when I lived there, it was. And we all have a good old time there, right there in good old New Madrid, Missouri. And so May is always an exciting month for me. Every month should be exciting for all of us. But, sometimes some months are more special than others to some, It's just the way it is. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about something very important. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about why you should not throw out any of your content. And I will give you a reason why. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife told me last week, 2 weeks ago, my lovely wife, beautiful, beautiful wife, mine told me I should listen to a book by Anthony Bourdain. For some of you that don't know, Anthony Bourdain was a chef. He had a TV show. He went around the world eating different foods and whatnot. Anthony Bourdain, he seemed like a funny guy. He wrote a book called Kitchen Confidential. Okay? He wrote this book in, I think, the year 2000. My wife told me I should listen to it. It's a great book. Blah, 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 blah. It was a good book. I listened to it. My wife, she was amazed because I listened to it in one day. And, how many of you, before we get started, how many of you, when you listen to programs, you listen to them at 2 times the speed? Me, myself, I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I've listened to a lot of audiobooks. So now, whenever I hear it at just normal speed, it sounds like this. And they went to the store, and then when I listen to it at 2 times the speed, it sounds quite normal, And so, one of these days, I'm going to listen to an episode of this show and see how fast I sound when it's like 2 times the speed. But as you well know, sometimes you don't listen to your own show because why would you? You know what I mean? You already know what you said, and you said it what you said, and that's it. You can't really go back. I know sometimes you go back and you think, I should have said this, I should have said that. But ladies and gentlemen, please, just get it into the next show. It'll be okay. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Bourdain, he talked about fish. I love fish. I don't know about you, but I love fish. He talked about fish. He said, don't buy fish at a restaurant on Mondays. And he talked about they have leftover fish from the weekend, and then they're trying to get rid of it, so they make it into a special. And I thought to myself, isn't that interesting? I go to my favorite restaurant, Marietta Seafood, every blue moon on a Monday, and I get lobster, baby, and they have and it's on sale. And I thought to myself, is it on sale on Mondays because it's leftover lobster, or is it because they're trying to cut me a deal? And I said, because the lobster is like $20 on Mondays at this place. And so I'm like, it's very interesting how that works. But the point of this is, if you want fresh fish, if you want the freshest fish possible, don't buy it on Mondays. I've heard it from a professional. And so we're going to talk about content. We're going to talk about old content, recycled content. We're going to talk about that today. And the reason why I'll bring this up is because just like those chefs, they might have old meat, old fish that they can whip it up, make it into a little special, and still make $20, $30 off of it. You can do the same thing. Now, have you ever, do you know the signs? Well, I don't know about today because music is so fragile and it's so different than what it used to be, than what I'm used to. But when I was a young man, when I was your age, when I was 21 and vibrant, we had CDs, and whenever you knew an artist was on the downslide, they would always throw out a greatest hits CD. Okay, all the time. Doesn't matter who it is. You would see like so and so greatest hits, and you're like, greatest hits. Oh boy. It's time to make some money, you know. And they would put whatever hit, the biggest hit on there would be in there. Some minor hits maybe, but if you was a fan of them, you would go, man, you know what? I'm gonna plump down these $13 because they have my favorite song on there, so why not? And so that's recycled content. Musicians, restaurateurs, everybody does it. And people, why shouldn't you? If you have let's say, I'm gonna tell you, let's give an example. Let's say you have a great interview with somebody, and you done it 4 years ago. You done it 4 years ago. You can take that interview. You can get it. You can get the transcript. You can get a transcript out. You can make that into a little book. It doesn't have to be $1,000. You can make that into a little book. You can make that into a Kindle book. You can put it up on the Amazon or wherever you want to put it. Or you could give it away for free. Or you could charge like $5 for it or whatever. But the point is, it's a way for you to make money. It's a way for you to get email addresses. It's a way for you to connect with your audience. And so you never want to get rid of old content. You never want to just chuck it. You never want to do that. You know what I mean? You never know how big you'll get in whatever field you want to be in. That's the whole point of this. Let's say, ladies and gentlemen, one day that I become as big as Denzel Washington. I'm just kidding. But let's say one day, I go on to do, we go to the top of the mountain, whatever the top of the mountain is, whatever top of the mountain is for you, Let's say you become the Cesar Millan of, or whatever, making pesto sauce, okay? And so let's say you made a video a long time ago about you making pesto when you first started off, People love origin stories. People love the beginning of something. People love to see how you got started, where you got started, what made you get started. People love that. This is why, if you want to see recycled content, ladies and gentlemen, look at Star Wars, okay? But people love to hear about an origin story. So it's great to see you succeeding. And we all know that a lot of people don't start with you, but they come along with you when you at the top. But then they want to know, how did he get started? What made him get started? What made them get started? What made she get started? Whatever, And so you can always, if you have old videos, you can formulate those old videos. You can say, hey, this is how I got started. I'm going to sell this little DVD, Put it in your mailbox, you can sell people DVD. And it's a good, if you have video, you make it into a little CD. It's a good way to get somebody's mailbox address, okay? Always be thinking about marketing. Always, always, always. It's a good way to get somebody's mailing address. And so you never want to get rid of content. You know, you see singers do it all the time. They go, I remember when after Tupac died, they came out with an album. They was like, oh, this is songs he was working on. Well, these are old songs of his, and you know, a lot of us went out. We went out and we spent $15 on old Tupac songs. You know, it's just the way it is. And so, never think that, what can I do with this? What can I do with that? Always keep it on. Always keep your content in handy. If you have Dropbox or whatever, keep it there. You know, make sure you label it well. Make sure you label it properly. That is something boys and girls, children of all ages, whatever you do, make sure you label your stuff properly. Put the date, the time, the year, what was going on, what the subject is, what the topic is, because you don't want to have to go back and thumb through it and figure out what is this, what is this, what is that. You don't want to have to do that, and so you want to be able to go right back there. Boom, get this one, get this one. Let's say if you have 3 topics that relate in 3 different years, you talked about the same topic. You know, you can put that together and make that and create that into something. The point is, recycle content, use your content, use all your content, use it, squeeze it until the very last drop. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is it. We'll be back tomorrow with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. And if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about the best podcast in the galaxy. Go back through the archives. We have a lot of episodes you can listen to. If you want to hear origin story, go back to that before I take it off and sell it to you. Okay, but go back, listen to old shows, catch up on the old shows, listen to new shows. You know, and if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, write this down. Email me at Tony, TonyResonno.com. I will take your questions. I will respond back to you. Look forward to hearing from you. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, with that being said, that is it. We'll be back tomorrow with the all new episode. But until then, God bless. And as always, everybody, PEACE.